Charlie Chaplin stands backstage at the Hippodrome Theater in San Francisco, wearing his authentic little Tramp costume, watching 39 other men prepare for the Charlie Chaplin look-alike contest. Contest judge Harold Pemberton adjusts his spectacles, consults his scorecard, and announces the results. In 20th place, Charles Spencer. Nice effort, but your walk needs work. What happens in the next 8 minutes doesn't just reveal the absurdity of imitation competing with authenticity. It proves that being yourself perfectly isn't always as convincing as performing someone else's idea of who you should be. Hippodrome Theater, San Francisco, November 15, 1920, Sunday afternoon, 2:45. The contest poster plastered across the city promises $25 to the best Charlie Chaplin impersonator, comedy genius sought for local vaudeville production. In 1920, $25 represents 2 weeks' wages for most working men. The prize has attracted 40 contestants, ranging from professional vaudevillians to amateur entertainers hoping to launch careers by perfecting someone else's persona. Charlie discovered the contest by accident while walking past the theater 3 days ago. Intrigued by the audacity of judging imitations of himself, he registered under his real name, Charles Spencer, without revealing his identity. He wants to understand what people think they see when they watch Charlie Chaplin perform. The backstage area buzzes with nervous energy. Contestants adjust fake mustaches, practice the Tramp's distinctive walk, and study photographs of Charlie clipped from movie magazines. Some wear obviously rented costumes with bowler hats that don't fit properly, and canes clearly purchased that morning from theatrical suppliers. Others have invested serious effort in their impersonations. Tommy Sullivan, a vaudeville veteran from Chicago, has studied every Chaplin film frame by frame, perfecting the head tilts, the shoulder shrugs, the way Charlie handles his cane. His costume is nearly identical to Charlie's authentic outfit. Charles Spencer sits quietly on a wooden stool, watching this preparation ritual with fascination. His costume doesn't need adjustment because it's the original, the actual clothes he wore in The Kid, modified only slightly for stage performance. His mustache doesn't need glue because it's real. His walk doesn't need practice because he invented it. But authenticity, Charlie realizes, might be his disadvantage. These contestants aren't imitating Charlie Chaplin, they're imitating their idea of Charlie Chaplin, which has been filtered through film projection, audience interpretation, and popular culture mythology. Contest judge Harold Pemberton, a local theater owner, has never met Charlie personally. His knowledge comes from watching Chaplin films and reading entertainment magazines. In his mind, Charlie Chaplin is a collection of exaggerated mannerisms rather than a complete human being with subtle variations in performance. The contest begins with individual performances. Each contestant gets 3 minutes to demonstrate their Charlie Chaplin interpretation. Most choose the same routine, the Tramp encountering a banana peel, slipping, recovering with dignity, then tipping his hat to an imaginary lady. Tommy Sullivan performs this routine with mechanical precision, hitting every expected beat exactly when the audience anticipates it. His imitation is flawless, but predictable, giving the audience exactly what they expect to see. Other contestants add their own variations. Patrick Murphy from Boston incorporates Irish step dancing into the Tramp walk. Giuseppe Romano from Little Italy adds Italian hand gestures to Charlie's typically restrained body language. Each performer is creating a hybrid, part Charlie Chaplin, part their own cultural interpretation. Charlie watches these performances with growing understanding. Each contestant is performing not Charlie Chaplin, but Charlie Chaplin understood by someone who has never met Charlie Chaplin. They're imitating the myth rather than the man. When Charles Spencer's turn arrives, Charlie performs naturally. He doesn't exaggerate his trademark mannerisms because he doesn't think of them as trademark mannerisms, they're simply how he moves.
His banana peel routine includes subtle variations he's developed over years of performance, small improvisations that make each iteration slightly different. But the audience doesn't recognize these subtleties as authenticity. They interpret them as mistakes. Charlie's natural performance seems too restrained compared to the heightened imitations they've been watching. Judge Pemberton makes notes. Good basic technique, but lacks the signature Charlie Chaplin energy. Walk is close, but missing the distinctive shuffle. Facial expressions need more exaggeration. Charlie realizes he's being judged for not being enough like himself.
After all 40 contestants perform, Pemberton announces the results. Tommy Sullivan wins first place with his note-perfect imitation that captures every expected mannerism. Patrick Murphy places second for his creative Irish variation. Giuseppe Romano takes third for his enthusiastic Italian interpretation. Charles Spencer places 20th out of 40 contestants. "Nice effort," Pemberton tells Charlie afterward, "but you need to study Chaplin's films more carefully. You're missing some of his essential characteristics. The real Charlie Chaplin has more presence." Charlie accepts this critique with amusement rather than offense. He's learning something profound about the difference between being someone and being perceived as someone. During the post-contest celebration, Charlie mingles with the other contestants. Several offer advice on improving his Charlie Chaplin imitation. Tommy Sullivan is particularly helpful. "Charles, you've got natural talent, but you're too subtle. Charlie Chaplin is bigger than life. You need to exaggerate everything, the walk, the mustache twirling, the hat tipping. Think vaudeville, not real life." "But isn't Charlie Chaplin a real person?" Charlie asks innocently. "Sure, but the Charlie Chaplin we're imitating is a character, not a person. The real Charlie Chaplin probably doesn't walk around doing the tramp shuffle in his daily life." This observation fascinates Charlie. Tommy understands intuitively that Charlie Chaplin the performer and Charlie Chaplin the person are different entities, but he assumes the performed version is more real than the authentic version. Giuseppe Romano joins the conversation. "Charles, you know what your problem is. You're too natural. Charlie Chaplin isn't natural, he's artistic. When you imitate him, you need to imitate his art, not his humanity." Charlie realizes these men understand something important about performance that he's never consciously considered. Audiences don't want to see authentic Charlie Chaplin, they want to see recognizable Charlie Chaplin. They wanted the version of him that existed in their imaginations rather than the version that existed in reality. Tommy Sullivan won the contest not because he understood Charlie better, but because he understood the audience's idea of Charlie better. His performance gave them exactly what they expected to see, delivered with precisely the energy they anticipated. Charlie's authentic performance disappointed them because authenticity includes subtlety, variation, and humanity, qualities that can seem like flaws when compared to the consistent perfection of a well-rehearsed imitation. The next week, Charlie reads about the contest in the San Francisco Chronicle. The article describes Tommy Sullivan as capturing the true spirit of Charlie Chaplin better than Chaplin himself. The reviewer notes that Sullivan's performance demonstrated everything that makes Charlie Chaplin a genius, distilled into 3 perfect minutes. Charlie clips the article and keeps it in his desk drawer as a reminder about the relationship between authenticity and perception, between being someone and seeming like someone. Years later, when film students ask Charlie about the development of his little Tramp character, he tells them about the San Francisco contest. "I learned that audiences don't want to see you. They want to see their idea of you. Your job as a performer isn't to be authentic to yourself, but to be authentic to their expectations of yourself." But doesn't that mean compromising your artistic integrity? No, it means understanding that your artistic integrity includes serving your audience's needs, not just expressing your personal truth. The Little Tramp character succeeds because it gives audiences a version of me that's more consistent and recognizable than I am in real life. The 8 minutes Charlie spent receiving critique about his own performance taught him more about the nature of celebrity and artistic persona than years of film reviews. He learned that being famous means becoming a collaboration between who you are and who people need you to be. The contest judge who placed him 20th wasn't wrong. Charlie's natural performance lacked the heightened energy that audiences associated with Charlie Chaplin. He was critiquing Charlie for being too much like Charlie and not enough like the idea of Charlie. That critique helped Charlie understand why some performers struggle with fame while others thrive. The successful ones learn to perform their public persona convincingly, even when that persona is based on an idealized version of themselves. Charlie Chaplin placing 20th in a Charlie Chaplin look-alike contest wasn't a failure of the judging. It was a perfect demonstration of how authenticity and performance relate to each other. Sometimes being yourself perfectly isn't as important as being what people need you to be consistently.